Fuck me good and gentle, I mean busting hell. This video was intended to address the fact that America has finally decided as a collective to look at society in the mirror and go, fuck me, we need to change. And Trump did address the recent shooting in a high school in Florida that has been making the rounds on the news all over the world as usual, but this time was very different from the usual guns don't kill people, people do argument. God. Is that argument even valid anymore? Trump, being the President Orange and all, dared address the issue of guns, which is what Barack Obama had tried to do time and time again, and Trump, having to face a second mass shooting that has shaken up America, had finally done something for good. For once in his entire political career, he banned the use of modifications and attachments for civilian-owned guns, and then immediately retracted that good thing by calling to train and arm teachers at schools, which in response have been calling to be armed with better resources and time management for the schools that they work at instead. And then Trump proceeds to put the usual blame on video games as the cause of mass shootings, which has pissed me off to another level. Fucking hell, I hate fear-mongering. It seems at this point America should be taught by the UK or Australia on how to govern a fucking country. But that's beside the point. I fucking hate the fact that the NRA supporting politicians in America keep claiming that violent video games are plaguing the minds of children, which has been proven wrong time and time again, to the point where trying to find a link between mass shootings and children playing violent video games is like trying to find a link between vaccinations and autism. The link doesn't exist. Multiple studies have proven the whole violent video games causes violence thing to be complete and total myth, but America just loves to cling on that Second Amendment. Well, the 5 million people of the NRA anyway. Like every other year, games are used as a scapegoat with the intention of not having to tackle something that would need effort to accomplish, which, judging by a lot of America's population, there is a running trend of not wanting to put effort into anything. The only people you do see putting money and effort into shit is YouTubers and screenwriters of Hollywood who want to entertain people with the mindset of earning money just being a bonus, or American scientists who actually do shit and not do a whole high school class of physics and chemistry just to say that they're a scientist. And no, I'm not going to say the Kardashians, because the only thing that they put effort into is their asses and who they must fuck in order to be popular. Getting back on track once again, violent video games have proven to be used as a therapeutic escape and mentally cleansing, no matter how violently fucked up they are, because video games allow you to do shit you wouldn't normally or shouldn't be able to do in real life, like fucking a whore and killing her for your money back, or ripping a demon's arm off and beating that same demon to death with his own arm, or jumping on brown mushroom-like creatures. It's all fantasy. Yes, graphics and realism storytelling may say otherwise, but the thing with video games is they constantly remind you they are video games because of a few factors. One, textures and models that still aren't quite up to par. Second, the fact that you have to press an on button to immerse yourself in these worlds when you want to play. And three, of course, the occasional glitch and bug. It really pisses me the fuck off when politicians like Donkey Jizz Trump keep putting the blame on these games, because they have probably never played a game since Pong, Donkey Kong, or fucking Tetris on their Nokia brick phone, when they are very comfortable with an HBO show with the most gore than anything. And that is very fucking hilarious in the context of today too, because duckfucker Trump is that bloody narcissistic that he oversaw and helped develop a game centered around himself, a game for the PC called Donald Trump Real Estate Tycoon. I'm not kidding. What you're looking at is the actual cover art for a game centered around his own fucking real estate business. Oh, fuck me, this is so fucking hilarious. Just backtracking to Trump's comments about this, he typically has opened up on Twitter tweeting things that are about as toxic as an immigrant from Chernobyl, and sure enough, a lot of American citizens did not take kindly to these comments, so everyone, including teachers and students in America, are very, very pissed off with Trump, merely due to the fact that he is so blind a bat would even slap themselves in the face. The other wonderful thing that America has to offer in terms of regulating video game purchases for youngsters is the fucking ESRB, America's Entertainment Software Rating Board, in which, for American parents who for some reason are watching this video made by me, a horrible low-rate YouTuber, software is another word for video game. The whole purpose for the ESRB is to brand parental ratings in order to give consumers, especially parents, information on what the game's parental rating is. This is the thing you called for when the parents and politicians of America flipped their shit upside down and threw it in a running fan over the blood and violence in the first Mortal Kombat game. And today, you easily neglect it, allowing your prepubescent child to play games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto 5, which in literally every other country other than Brazil, most games, and both games, are even given respective ratings, not this trifecta fake fucking of rate that is easily ignored by parents. Comparing both America and Australia's common sense together yet again, the Australian government has laid bare a rule when branding parental ratings on movies and video games. When that parental rating label is slapped onto the cover, the content in the game that is given the game a parental rating in the first place includes valuable information. That information being the rating and age limit if it is a restricted rating, and the content put into question that gave it the rating. That is all put on the front cover in Australia. Just remember that. But in America, they just brand some fucking letter on the front cover expecting the parents know what it is when they don't even have the patience to look up what it means to the ESRB, or even turn the cover to the other fucking side. The fact that the content in question is put on the back cover in America, which many people don't give a fuck about when they go shopping for movies and shit, is the reason why parents gloss over the rating system and buy the game for their child, because they think it's one of those stores that won't accept purchases from a child no matter how old. Fuck me, you are wrong. The other thing that irritates me to fucking shreds is the fact that the rating system for movies and video games in America are completely bloody different. When we implemented a rating system for video games in Australia, we didn't inaugurate the same rating system used for movies because we're lazy, but because people recognize those labels all the time here, so dumb consumers know what to and what not to buy for their children in terms of content. Our rating system in Australia is as follows. You have G for general, which is the lowest of the low. Then you have PG for parental guidance, so there may be a few iffy scenes, but it should still be okay for children in today's standards. Then you have M for mature. Still unrestricted, but recommended for people aged 15 and over. Then you have the restricted section. You have MA 15+, which when translated, it means people aged 15 and over can only view this content unless a younger viewer is given parent permission or supervision. And the same can be said for R 18+. Restricted for people aged 18 and over. Notice that the MA and R ratings have that black restricted bar below on the label, which means legally you can only purchase this content or view it publicly within the government given restrictions. Everything is simple, laid out clearly in a way that it includes all sorts of people coming from various backgrounds. In America, you have for movies G, PG, PG 13+, and R, basically speaking for whatever the fuck NC-17 is, and the problem with this is it doesn't really accommodate for a lot of various kinds of viewers. Then with video games, you have EC, which is rarely branded for video games anyway, so this one doesn't count. Oh no, a friendly Italian plumber squashed a sentient mushroom. Then E for Everyone, which apparently, according to the ESRB, these games are only suitable for children 6 and up. What the fuck? E10 plus, which is essentially, when you read the ESRB's classification standards, it lines up perfectly with the M classification in Australia. T for teen, MA 15 plus in Australia basically, then M, which is R18 plus, and for some fucking reason, AO. What the fuck deserve this at any point? If games were adult only, shouldn't they be sold at sex toy shops or some shit? Fuck me, you Americans can be overprotective about anything. Then blame shit on your children because some deranged, pathetic wanker decided they want to shoot people. Almost none of those shooters ever played a video game in their lives. If parents aren't at least following these overcompensating regulations, then why not take your young and impressionable 6-year-old child to a XXX movie theatre or a strip club and explain to them what a clitoris is? Because of these ridiculous standards as well, young adolescent children who are getting to the emo angst phase of their life won't be able to express themselves through other forums that isn't theirs. Let's face it, not everyone can be overwhelmingly creative like Steven Spielberg or Captain Waxman, but people should at least be granted the right to be able to curb stomp some poor bastard's face into the dirt without needing to do it in real life. That's the point of video games when it comes to violence. Why do it in real life with the massive expense of a gun or knife or petrol money just to do horrible shit when you are already given a chance to do it for a measly $60 US, which would be $100 for us in Australia, to be given an unlimited amount of time to fap over your cruel fantasies. That way no one is actually murdered and everyone can enjoy each other's company. Christ in hell, I know people who commit the most sadistic, most fucked up shit in video games, but would be depressed and sob for 4 hours straight if they accidentally hit a small animal on the road in real life, because they know video games are fake. It's all script and code that produce events you see on the screen, but when you see fucked up shit in real life, gamers who play violent video games would struggle to live with themselves if they witness real-life fucked up shit. I might be repeating myself right now, but this is the only way I can actually convey a message clearly to Americans, to any normal people who live in literally any other country that speaks English as a primary or secondary language. I sincerely apologize. Conclusion: the American government is full of twats, and they need to stop electing single brain-celled celebrities. Good night, everybody.